Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Meena every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. Thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do hit the like button, share with friends, and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your kind support. Today, Saffron Tiger is back with us. Welcome, Saffron.
Namaskar, Meenaji, and namaskar to all my viewers. Yet another pleasant day here and night wherever our viewers are to have this candid conversation. I couldn't be
Yes,
more honored.
yeah. So, on the first note, very sad news about the Japanese Prime Minister passing away. He was only 67. He was shot during a speech at a campaign event for the ruling Liberal Democratic Party in the city of Nara in Western Japan on Friday. Japan's NHK television reported. According to local media, a suspect has been arrested following the incident and remains in custody. His relationship with Modi and India was a very close one, and we today feel as if we have lost a close friend and an ally. You remember Saffron? He was a very strong critic of China, and this man who shot him had an apparatus that looked like a camera. So very suspicious that see when you think these people are media people, they're actually killers in disguise. You know. So when they caught them, you'll see the gun. It looks almost like a camera and stuff.
Yes, it is indeed a very sad day for the entire world. I would extend my condolences to Shinzo Abe's family as well as to the nation of Japan. Um the this friendship between India and Japan has goes a long way, and in particularly with Modi ji, it has gone right from the time when Narendra Modi ji were Chief Minister of State of Gujarat. That
Yes.
being said, I feel it is such a, although it might appear like a very ruthless act done by a psychopath who probably lived in his mother's basement, had nothing else better to do in his life. I would say that there could be bigger forces behind this act,
Yeah.
because for someone to be able to penetrate through all the security layers, and in a nation where gun laws are controlled, and there is an object which looks like binoculars but apparently was a weapon used to assassinate Shinzo Abe.
Yeah.
I think that there is a bigger network that was operating from a long time
Yeah.
to get this thing successfully executed. And who knows, like, a lot of it could also be to weaken the awakening against this cabal, which
Hmm.
has been happening ever since Donald Trump came into presidency in the last 4 or 5 years, whatever we have seen.
Yes. Yes. It's obvious that that is what has happened. It is to weaken it. So very, very rightly said.
Absolutely, ma'am. Because see, I have my own reasons to believe, because uh, you cannot assassinate a powerful person like him without knowing the security protocols or lack thereof at such instances. Also, it is not possible for a common man to be able to penetrate through such security layers. Obviously, there might be some fringe elements within their party who might be unhappy with the decision making of Shinzo Abe, be it on a diplomatic level or be it on a national level. I don't know about that. But
Mhm.
one thing which is very clear is that there are these forces who have successfully attained their objective, and it is also a way to send a message to the awakened souls that, like, those who are going to go against the cabal, they will have to face
The same fate. Yes. Yes.
yes, face fate in some or the other way coming for them. Now, when you talk about president, like, prime ministers like our Narendra Modi ji, or even the ex-president Donald Trump, they are most like protected people on this planet.
Yeah.
And even for Modi ji, given the kind of hatred that he has to go through with this cabal and the extreme leftist media and all over the Gulf. There are a lot of people who stem a lot of hatred for his Hindu awakening of the entire diaspora. I think he is one of the most protected people on the planet. So we shouldn't be worried about his safety from that perspective. But yes, definitely at the same time, there is a need to keep our eyes and ears open and to have that wisdom to understand that what are the forces who we are fighting against and how cruel and how ruthless these people are.
Yeah. And also, Saffron, you remember whenever Narendra Modi visited Japan, or when he came to Shinzo came to India, you could see the kind of rapport that they shared. It was like, see, they didn't look like politicians. They looked like
Exactly.
just friends. You can make out from their eyes, their body gesture. It's not like a Biden meeting Modi, or some other politician meeting Modi. This is something that you can trust this partner.
Yeah.
So that's
Sometimes
what makes it so sad, because Japan is so important for us, and such a leader, towering leader has gone.
I couldn't agree with you more, Meenaji. You're right on the money when you said that the camaraderie between the two of those leaders seemed to be very natural and very
Yes,
organic. Uh, let alone uh, being a very flourishing one, but it was something. See, there are, you meet people in your life where you might have some diplomatic relationships just for sake of personal interests or the interests of your nations, but then you see through those nuances, you
yes,
see through those gestures. Tomorrow, if you see our prime minister shaking hands with the president of USA, you will see that there is a diplomatic nuance to it. But when you see the same with when you see such a gesture with a leader like Shinzo Abe, or even with the prime minister of Israel for that matter, you would see
yeah,
that it is happening naturally out of affection, out of a
yeah,
long-term friendship which has been nurtured, cared, developed, and blossomed. Just like
yeah.
how in case of Russia as well, when the two leaders meet, the kind of
Yes,
energy that is seen,
yeah,
from oceans away, it is so
yeah,
apparent in the ways it has never been before.
yeah. In fact, Karthik says it seemed the Shogun was 3D printed. Same like they say, a knife can cut the apple used to paint on a canvas and also kill a person. So that's a very surprising comment. Yeah. India attaché died last year inside Indian embassy in Palestine. A mystery is still. China and Soros cabal behind. Yes, this seems very obvious, Vidya, because he was a very, very open critic of China. So there should be something behind this, and it could not be so easy as it looks. Meanwhile, moving on to a small piece of good news. Our own Samir Wankare received an award from the governor of Uttarakhand. On July 7th, Saman and Salam Foundation organized the sixth Saman and Salam Award ceremony, which was held at Dehradun for the martyrs' family from Uttarakhand. Samir Wankare received an award from the governor of Uttarakhand, Honorable Lieutenant General Shri Gurmeet Singh Ji, and Union Minister Honorable Shri Ramdas Athawale for distinguished service for the society. Now, here, what I'd like to say is that, see, this man, was both a patriot and a very hardworking one. I remember when I used to try to call him, even on a Sunday, he used to work. He was that hardworking. He never, see, he was never answerable to anyone because he was a workaholic. Now, if you look at the new batch of, NCB officers, you will find that hardly any of them are ever, caught, seen caught, catching anybody. Your thoughts on that, Saffron?
Um, to me, this is like a real life hero we have seen, even on screen and off the screen as well. Not only he got the job done, but also he didn't like you know shy away from talking about the truth out open in the media. uh, one of the most fearless officers I have come across in the agencies, and with absolute I don't know him personally, but whatever I have seen, I can say with pride that I belong from the same country where officers like Samir Wankhede serve for the nation. Now that
Yeah,
being said, yes, I feel that there is a strong need for officers like himself, to be to be in large numbers so that we can get things done and there is a measurable output shared with the people of India
yeah,
eventually, and that is one of the reasons why, when he was working on the Sushant Singh Rajput case, there were like so high hopes until we all know what happened, right? Nawab Malik came and all that D gang, along with the Bolly Dawood cabal, went after him, and this guy held bull by its horns and was literally fighting a lone battle. So I don't understand that why our country of 1.4 billion is not seeing more of such lions out in the forest, because there are so many wolves. We know who the
yeah.
wolves are. We are like fostering the wolves by keeping quiet, by watching their movies, by voting them into positions of power. On that note, I would say that it was a relief to see one of the wolves' ego being crushed totally in the state of Maharashtra and its entire cabal falling like a pack of cards. But that being said, I would like to see more of such heroes, and would like to see that there are people who are deployed on some of the very talked about cases like SSR cases, giving a measurable output, providing the evidences, making things happen, taking it to the judicial authorities. If the judicial authorities are being sluggish, then putting pressure on them, putting all sorts of RTI queries on the agencies and stuff like that to get the things done. But sadly, such officers are either compromised or either they are transferred, removed from their posts, and shifted to some other department where they know they won't be adding as much value as they did in their prior departments. So that is the kind of a part of India that we are living in, where the mighty and the powerful can twist the laws in their favor.
Also, Saffron, remember, who were the people who stood with Samir Wakade? It was not the politicians. It was not the cabal. It was not the any of the politicians, I would say. It was only the public, and mainly the SSRians who stood with him, because they knew. See, here was a person who was exposing everything, and in turn being targeted because he was exposing too much. He had reached almost the end when he caught Aryan Khan, and when Ananya was also Pandey was also called. They had almost reached the end of their investigation. That's when all the big wigs got scared.
What
You
can you
know,
do in the
there was a top officer from NCB who met with Shah Rukh Khan, and that interview was so funny. He said that Shah Rukh Khan very apologetically said, it's Aryan Khan's birthday today. And he said, oh, then I could have come another day. Would Samir Wankhede ever say that? He would have said, I don't care about your birthday, and give him another couple of slaps if he could. So,
That's the thing.
replaced by,
That is the thing. There has to be what I would say a paradigm shift in the organization. People who are in the position of power, either elected by the politicians or elected by the people like us, like we elect politicians based on our votes. It is very important to understand how can we ensure that people who have such authority are of clear conscience, how people of such I would say ethics and such traits are the ones who are truly serving the nation in the best interest. And it is very difficult, even if you have 10 apples in a basket which are like very sweet, I'm sure there will be like, a few of the rotten apples, and that eventually either compromises the other apples, like they say, there's this famous saying in English that one dead fish will rot the entire lake,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So either those good fishes they run away or they die, right? So in for myriad of reasons, honest officers get compromised or their families are harassed or some or the other. You know how much like hate and trauma Samir Wankhede's family had to go through,
yeah.
just for an honest officer just doing his job. Like, I mean, how much can one take? There are like, we've come across families who have lost their loved ones and they are doing nothing to get justice for their departed's beloved ones, their beloved blood relatives, their daughters or their son or their brothers. They aren't doing anything other than like running taglines and whatnot. But
See, Saturn, even in a small way, you were attacked, weren't you? Your family
oh
was attacked.
yeah, absolutely,
Please tell
absolutely.
your viewers about that.
Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Nilotpal Mrunal, who, like, who's a self-proclaimed leader of the SSR campaign, he didn't bat an eye about, like, uh, didn't bat an eye before threatening to kill and torture and get my entire family arrested. God knows for what reason, for reasons best known to himself. In fact, he should be the one who should be clarifying his position on why the alleged suspects in Jia Khan's murder case are promoting his name openly. Why is Aditya Pancholi promoting him openly? Why people from Bollywood are like promoting him openly? I have video evidences of Sunil Shetty, Akshay Kumar, and God knows how many people this guy roams around with. Like, uh, I don't know. Like, there's Ajaz Khan who was like
Mm,
caught in the drug angle.
mm.
So who are these people? Like, how come, like, I don't think that Sushant Singh Rajput would associate himself with elements like Smita Parekh and Nilotpal Mrinal.
Yeah,
So I really don't know, like, where did all that hate come from? It was a very he went on live and then he deleted that video. I don't know why he did that, but I think a leopard never changes its spots, and so does the habits of wolves are like never changed. So uh, I would say that, like, this unfortunately this campaign, SSR campaign, was also infiltrated with many compromised characters, and that caused a lot of damage, got caused a lot of trauma to many people. I think I'm seeing that, like, there are like a lot of comments coming that Saffron Tiger should post the evidence out on public domain. I mean, maybe like you joined the campaign recently, but people who have joined from long time ago, since SSR got murdered, they know about what all things that I'm talking about. But yeah, if you really need any specific evidence, you can always reach out to me on my Twitter account, and I will respond.
yeah. Also, see, in the SSR case, these people have suddenly disappeared. The crocodile and this smuggler.
The
Now
family has
they've disappeared, but I'm sure still they are behind the sisters. It's still a game being played.
they are looking for an opportunity to step in. They are looking for an opportunity to be, uh, you know they thought that by piggybacking family they will, come in the forefront. But now, while they have figured out that the sister has seen through their BS, or or they have figured out that there is not much life left in this campaign. They have figured out that maybe Arnab is not going to give them any airtime. They have figured out that there's not much they can do. Not only him, many people have gone silent. You won't see the lawyer talking much. Like, he has gone into his, I don't know what he's up to lately, but from what I've heard, uh, from what I've heard, like he hasn't been touching on those things that he used to. And maybe that's a good thing, because we don't want any much more sensation. Credit where due, where good things are done, he has been given credit. But when it comes to sensationalism, I think yeah, he took it a bit too far. That
Carol,
being said, yeah.
Caroline says, shocking, Smita Parekh blocked me for no reason too.
Yeah, I mean, like, she's blocked me for a long time. So welcome to the club, Caroline G. You know, we are
I'm
part of.
also blocked. So all of us are blocked.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think वो कहते हैं ना, हिंदी में एक कहावत है, सच को परेशान कर सकते हो, पराजित नहीं. तो
Yes.
वही कर रही है वो. She is trying to stifle our voices, but
Yeah.
it is not possible. She knows that, like, now she is nowhere to be seen like other characters. So I would say the wolves have exposed themselves. The wolves who were in the sheep's clothing, they have exposed themselves. And yeah, I mean, like, there's also another angle to it. Like, some people, they also left because their families got attacked, and everyone has an Achilles heels for their family. So there were, like, other I would say, uh, SSRians or justice seekers who were, like, known by many people, and who took a backseat. I also have become very choosy in the channels that I come across. Like,
Yeah.
there are some people, not a lot, but some people who reach out to me, but I stick to your channel only because I see that
Yeah.
I can talk freely and there are no holds barred. And
Yeah.
a lot of our thinking and our views, it aligns with the
Yeah.
interest where the campaign is heading. So that is one of the main reasons why I am, like, always privileged to share screen with you.
Yeah. Thank you. Daisy saying also all pictures of Smita Parekh of Sushant are surreptitiously shot, except perhaps the interview. Why was he spying on? Was she spying on him? If yes, for whom?
Uh, what is this about Smita Parekh? See that again?
She's saying that also all pictures of Smita of Sushant are surreptitiously shot, except
Oh,
perhaps the interview. Why was she spying on him? If yes, for whom?
I, uh, I don't know about that, honestly. But having known Smita Parekh for whatever period, like, from an outside perspective, I would be very careful about, like, having people like those in my social circle, or even, like, within a reasonable range, much less to call a social circle. Uh, See, there was some, like, I've time again I've said that there has been a recording which was released by Vibhor, where it was, like, openly admitted by Smita Parekh that she has 24/7 access to Matoshri. Maybe she is one of an opportunist who saw that the MVA government is going to crumble now, so she has gone silent, right? And so have many other people. I mean, Vibhor also went silent after coming back, like, from jail, and after doing all those narrations that he did about SSR being alive. Where is he? If he's alive, where is he? Right? It's a very pertinent question to ask. He had given a timeline, then he said that he's not going to come. We all know it was all sensation, right? Some are saying that they are part of some trafficking network. I don't
Yeah.
know about that, but I have heard those rumors. I've heard from grapevines, so wouldn't be able to confirm if that is the case. But yes, there has been definitely some kind of shadiness associated with these characters who run these campaigns of billboards and, like, plant for Sushant and Sushant Day. You should have utter level of shamelessness to uh, I would say, shamelessly, unabashedly dance on his birth anniversary, celebrating his life. Are you celebrating his murder? There have been talks about you being there. You made claims about pool of blood. You made claims about uh, being so close to the MBA government and MBA government officials being on your advisory board. I mean, why in the world? What kind of a mentality one should have to shamelessly, dance and post videos of you having fun, having a ball, when our departed soul SSR hasn't gotten justice? And there are people who support them. Why? I don't know. Maybe it is because of hatred for people like you and me, Minaji. That is okay. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. But one thing which we will not stop from doing is continue to raise voice and say the truth, even at the cost of us facing hatred, because we have been facing hatred for what not. This guy Nilotpal, he also took a jab on your dharma and beliefs by targeting you for some post related to Nityanandji, right?
Yes.
So they see that when you strike on their when you question them,
Literally.
they strike on your religion, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I don't understand like what kind of mentality it is. And I'll tell you, not many people have the guts to talk about him. So he is definitely exercising some of his influence there. He's a very I would say a shrewd character who likes to exercise his influence and back channels it in a very conniving way.
So now that the sisters are running around with taglines, and now that Mahavikas Agadi has fallen, where do these two stand?
You mean Baby and Papa Penguin?
No, I mean the crocodile and the
They
smuggler.
will continue. They will continue to run their shops. I heard that Smuggler has some shop that he runs, and he has a small NGO, and Crocodile has her own NGO. So she will run her own NGO. They don't have any dearth. And like I said, ma'am, there are like some fringe elements even within the BJP at the local level. Not everybody is going to be a true Sanatani, right? Like we have
Yeah.
said, इतने सालों से जो हमका हमारा जो colonization जो हुआ है, हमारा जो deracination जो हुआ है, in our very mind, we've been ashamed to like our own food, like our own skin color, our own way of style, our own languages, and be corrupt. We've been trained to be corrupt. जब हमें पुलिस वाला भी रोकता है तो हमें बोलते हैं चलो सर साइड में कुछ एडजस्ट कर लेते हैं ना, राइट? वी डोंट से दैट, वी डोंट करेक्ट आवर मिस्टेक, वी ट्राई टू अमेंड इट. तो दीज पीपल ये वही काम करते रहेंगे, जो इनको अपनी जो दुकान चलानी है वो चलाते रहेंगे, वही करेंगे. कुछ डोनेशन मांगेंगे, कोई किसी को खाना देंगे, वही डोनेशन लोगों से पैसा लेकर किसी को खाना देंगे, वो खाना देने का वो पिक्चर डालेंगे अपने अकाउंट पे और बोलेंगे कि हमने तो ऐसा किया, हमने तो वैसा किया, राइट? That's what, like, because of certain because of mistakes of certain people like Arnab Goswami, whom I hugely hold him accountable for bringing such elements on the forefront. He should have done a
And
better
endorsing
job.
them. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. He added fuel to the fire by in the maybe his intentions were right, but his vetting process was
Yeah.
horrible. It
Was
was
not
chaos
good. Exactly. Yeah.
all over. He was like, at that point, even if a beggar on the street said that, like, oh, you know what, I was SSR's friend, he would have gotten him on airtime. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the, like,
That's exactly what you exposed when Bharat said that, an eyewitness had seen what happened on the 13th night.
I think it was very immature of Bharat to maybe like Bharat also erred in the vetting process, and so did some other YouTubers who went against me when I exposed that fake Chacha and exposed that the Chacha himself was a druggie and he was calling Sushant druggie. So I don't know, like, where to start with that. Well, like I said, all of those people, all of those YouTubers, all of those bikers, and uh, I don't know, like, these NGO owners and people, other people, they have been given their just deserts, they have been given their comeuppance. And we are seeing that now the only people who have been talking about Sushant are the ones who truly believe that Sushant should be given justice, right?
Yeah,
And that's what we are like all waiting for. Despite the anxiety, despite the frustration, we all are together. And
yeah,
although the numbers are not as high as they used to be,
yeah,
बट वो कहते हैं ना, बूंद बूंद से सागर बनता है, तो
yeah,
बूंद बूंद
exactly.
से बनते रहेगा सागर. और जैसे हमारे साथ नए लोग और जुड़े के, more awakening is there. uh, like Himani ji is saying that so many made SSR case their gravy train, the only authentic channel and voices I stick to due to an honor and proud sense of association are yours, Meena ma'am and Saffron. Oh, thank you so much. I don't make any videos, but I'm so proud to be associated with Meena ji, because she does not shy away from telling the truth. She has gone against people. She has disturbed, or like, your personal relationships with very publicly noted figures have gone bad. I know, Meena ji, you don't talk about this, but I have seen it. And but yes, I like that.
In fact, you know what happened, Saffron, when I see, I was getting a lot of feedback about the SSR diaries after a certain stage. That was it being, written by somebody in the present. So whether it's, the Kabbalah also involved in it. Now, I also started scrutinizing it more in detail and realizing that, see, newer things. How many things could have SSR written about? So he was going into areas that were uncharted. I mean, as an actor. So for him, so I found that very strange, and slowly we decided to dissociate from the person who was reading it. You won't believe it. They started attacking me on their channel, which they started a new channel, and they started attacking me. I didn't say anything about them personally. All I said is that you have allowed the cabal to come in and rewrite SSR's diary, because SSR would never have spoken about Prime Minister Narendra Modi, whom he had high regard for. And the second thing you also say is that you're suspecting SSR's character, saying that he also has two sides. So which means you're hitting a bird with two stones. So which means that you are attacking Modi, and you're also attacking SSR. Now, see, we were getting attacks from there also, and people were asking, why did you not? Why did you stop the diary readings? Now, if I wanted, I could have still continued it, but it was against my conscience. I cannot tell, something that is not something I don't believe in. You know, if I stop believing in it, and if the viewers stop believing in it, we can't continue to have the SSR diaries.
Uh,
You see?
ma'am, if no, I'm not. I'm just giving my unsolicited opinion, but I never trusted the SSR diaries from day one. There were like many people who used to come to me and say that, why don't you question Meena ji about the authenticity of the diary? And I said that it's not my place to question her the authenticity. I mean, I don't know if she also knows that if those diaries are authentic or not. Because the way I
So
have
that's what
seen.
I had left it open to the readers. Either you believe or you don't believe. It's up to you.
Yes, absolutely, Meena ji, because I remember that when you asked me in past to tell my side of the story, you never confirmed it whether it's true or not, but you
Yeah,
always portrayed that, okay, here is side A and here is side B, and
yeah.
it is
Listen
left
to
for
it.
the
Yeah.
viewers, right? And if you find that something which is like beyond the realms of, like, belief, then you call it out, right? So these are the kind of things we have seen. And what's Caroline G is saying, Faizad blindly supporting her. I told him to stand with the family. Uh, yeah, I mean, like, yes, supporting her. I mean, he means. I think she means Smita Parekh. So yeah, Faizad is a, I think he's a 40-year-old adopted son of Smita Parekh. If you don't know, yeah, Smita
Hmm.
Parekh has adopted him
Who?
as a son.
Who?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Adopted who?
Faizad.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
He's a very, like, he's a son of adopted son of Smita Parekh, and
Okay.
he calls her
Hmm,
ma openly
hmm,
on
hmm,
social
hmm,
media. And he has his
okay.
own, like, well, what to say, like, these people have harassed families. These people have reached out to. There have been cases against Kaizad, uh, he has been to Hyderabad police station. If you don't believe me, you can go and check the FIR registered by his, I think his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm I'm thinking it's his ex-girlfriend, against some harassment case or some sexual harassment or what, some kind of harassment case was filed against. So you get an idea of the environment these people have around it. And such kind of people, there was this other lady who was from the Don Bosco gang, and she said some hateful things about, like, all of us. Like, she didn't spare anyone. And she said that, like, Sushant ka live streaming hua tha murder ka. Her name was Bini Chakrabarti. She is nowhere to be seen now. Where is she? There have been, and there is this YouTuber called Sunil Jha. उनके फेसबुक पेज पर डाला था उसने ये. Who are these people? How do they know that such information?
So
How?
Nisha is asking you why
Yeah.
all these guys want to have NGOs. It's very
because
shady.
because ma'am, because when you have an NGO, when you establish an NGO, you get grants from the state government. You have to just show on paper that you have done some work, you have fed some 100 orphan children, or you have worked for some old patients, and you get grant from government.
Yeah.
और वो जो grant
And
आती है,
then that becomes a
everybody
front
has
for sex trafficking. Yeah.
everybody has a cut in that
Mm,
grant, right? From the
mm,
chief minister's secretary and all those, the people who are compromised, I would say, the
yeah,
people
yeah.
who are compromised, all of those people have a cut in those grants.
Mm,
So yes, like Tornado has said, NGOs are there to funnel money. Exactly,
yeah,
that's very simply put.
yeah. So now, Saffron, see, Baby Penguin is the only person that Eknath Shinde has accepted. All the others have been discarded from the Shiv Sena. What do you think this guy is going to do? Is he going to fit in a den full of lions and he's the only penguin there?
I think uh, definitely, see, Eknath Shinde is someone who has rose through the ranks through sheer hard work and his acumen. So there is no denying to it that when he makes a move, he is thinking 10 steps ahead of it. So definitely it is a, in my, if I would have to, if I were part of Shiv Sena, I would see it as a coup for Baby Penguin. I mean, someone like Baby Penguin would have to be so foolish to be associated with the party workers who have left him, like, right? But that being said, Hindi में कहावत है धोबी का कुत्ता न घर का न घाट का, right? So the such is the like, sorry state of affairs for the Baby Penguin clan, I would say. Uh, a while ago, somebody messaged me a clip which apparently was a WhatsApp forward, wherein I think it was Savant or someone from Shiv Sena clan who met Aditya Thackeray somewhere, and Aditya Thackeray was like, in a very measly voice, he was saying, "I'm so disappointed by you. You were
Yeah.
going to come to have dinner at my place,
Mm.
and you know that I really had a lot of love for you, don't
Mm.
you?"
Mm.
So, I mean,
As it is, his effeminate voice is so, absolutely jarring.
I know, and like, okay, you could argue the fact that, like, these are the kind of things that you are born with. You can't do much about it, but your demeanor is something that is in your hand. Your karma is in your hand, and what kind of karma are you associated with? Disha Salian's murder, Sushant Singh Rajput's murder, and all these kind of stories, which was one again, like, there was this guy from Smita Parikh's clan who told me that he's involved in, like, uh, on very, like very heinous crimes
Mm.
that he has committed on ladies, and uh, uploaded videos on dark web and whatnot. But it's too horrific to even believe that he can do those kind of things. But who knows, इनकी जो इंडस्ट्री जो रहती है, इनके शोबिज इंडस्ट्री जो रहता है, इनका जो ड्रग्स वग्स का मामला चलता है, after all these deaths, so-called suicides, nothing really surprises me. Nothing.
Yeah.
So
Meera Komarak is asking, by the way, where is the alcoholic chap Vibor?
I don't know. It's been like over a year, well over a year that I haven't spoken to him, and I just hope that you should be happy if he's quiet, right? You're not happy if he's quiet. You're not happy when he speaks. So, so see, that's the thing, right? Like we are proving his point. Like he says that you can love me, but or you can hate me, but you cannot ignore me. So we should ignore him, right?
Leonora says, exactly, the Chacha fake story was also used by Style Rag and Bharat. That's the reason why I left their channel. I think a lot of people have been leaving the channel because of such reasons. Because see, when you're true to yourself, you will have one point of view and stick to it. Okay, unless facts are coming and you are changing along with the news reports that are coming. But otherwise, you can't change or sit in the sit on the fence. you know so you have to take a stand and stand there itself, not move about like these people.
I haven't watched his channel for a long time and don't intend to.
Hmm.
The last I know is that like there was like things have gone wrong between them and like there was some blackmailing going on from either
Hmm.
side. I don't know who was blackmailing whom, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I've heard. So yeah, that is that. But like in a general sense, you get an idea of how toxic this campaign has become, right?
yeah.
And like the sheer level of toxicity is like I haven't seen any, I haven't been part of any environment, be it workplace, be it social circle, even the enemies that I've had before in my life. If I like if I had to think, nobody has come close to the kind of people I have met, the toxic people, the backstabbers I've met in this campaign. But yeah, such is life, like when you give them the mask, they will show you the true self. And that, and kind of like that analogy, it kind of sits in very right with the uh, kind of experiences we all have had in this campaign.
Yeah. Play with Bihan says, what's your opinion of Preeti Pandey and Mamta Kali?
Preeti Pandeji, I think most at a very high level, I think of her as an opportunist, maybe trying to get brownie points and some political mileage through the SSR campaign.
Yeah,
Uh,
both of them, even
yeah.
Mamta Kali.
Mamta Kale, I don't know. I honestly don't know
Because she's
about.
the one who's called always on Arnab's channel. And I think they're close to the sisters. So they feel that being with the sisters makes them, stand with the SSR cause and give them the
Exactly.
limelight. Yeah.
See, ma'am, what happens is that they all want a support base. So if you are with the sisters, you will have the support of the tagline runners, right? If you, so that's why my only request to the sisters, and not now, but I've been repeatedly saying that be careful of the people that you are associating with. You know, what are these? चलो ठीक है, आप प्रीति पांडे जी के साथ में स्क्रीन शेयर कर रहे हो, you are tweeting, tagging crocodile, but what all these people have given to you to get where you want to be for your brother's justice? What is Preeti Pandey given to you? To what help she has given to you rather than speaking? दो बातें तो हम भी बोल लेते हैं यहाँ पे, इतने सारे
Mm,
हजारों
mm,
ऐसे सारियंस है, वो तो दिन रात बोलते आ रहे हैं को आपको जो जिस कगार पर जाना है उस कगार पर जाने के लिए आप क्या किया है उन्होंने? Nothing. They haven't given anything. So yeah, I mean like this is how it's been. And uh, I don't know, but if somebody is close to families in the viewers, like I wouldn't say family, I would say sisters. I will be very
yeah,
careful with
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Father
sister.
should not be
Yeah,
touched here.
somebody should be knocking some sense into Priyanka's head, that hey, you know what, like this thing of like, oh, I lost my brother, yeah, which is a reality. Like, so that is a really sad reality that you have to live with for the rest of your life.
And you better go to the courts.
Yeah.
Mm.
But like that doesn't mean that like you can get away with actions of like oh yeah, I'm going on a date night, and like, not, I'm not talking about
And today also, she's been seen moaning and groaning about it.
Exactly.
Yes,
So
yes.
I I feel that, like, with all your grief, yes, we are not grief shaming you or anything along those lines, but we will definitely question you कि आप अपने भाई के इसके लिए क्या कर रहे हो, and there are some
If Jia Khan's mother, Rabia, and Janvi's mother can both fight, and get little bits of news in between, you surely can. You're a lawyer also.
Mhm. I'm taking some
Yeah,
questions here.
yeah, Caroline. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
How
Uh,
can Kaizad be on
Beyond.
Smita's side and against SSR's family and still be in the movement for justice? Like, what are they here for? How can they stand for SSR when they're against his family?
they came into this campaign because of Smita Parekh, right? Smita Parekh ने उसको कोई फेसबुक पे ग्रुप हैंडल करने को कहा था. He was like the, like, how a police officer will tell a constable that, like, do a bandobast here, so he was the constable there who was, like, handling all the affairs. There have been a lot of comments about chasing dreams. I haven't seen her channel because I never believed in it. I saw, like, bits and pieces earlier, but that channel also, like, did initially, I don't know if it was doing a good job, but later definitely made some ludicrous observations. So maybe I have an idea of who that person is, who runs that channel. I may have spoken to that person if I think it's the same person, and I don't trust that channel. Not at all.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The
absolutely
second
not.
tiger seems to be huge on trafficking. He's saying trafficking nexus is huge, and many Illuminati Freemasons are involved. If you want to send us something with facts, do send it to us on our email, Sikkim, and we'll look at it. But unless we have facts, we cannot report it. So it has to be clear.
Yes, maybe that's true,
But
maybe it's not, but it has to be backed by some data, like
yeah,
rightly put by Minaji.
yeah. It's never too late to realize that what was going on with the diary story was all fake from the very start. So on those days, I never watched it. Here, Leonora and Saffron, see, initially there were a lot of things that were coming out that parts of it we knew. So many of us believed it because there were many things. For example, what about Amitabh Bachchan, about Aishwarya Rai, what they were doing, who were a part of the cabal. So these were all things which were believable. So for a certain period, it went to a stage where some believed and some didn't believe. You know, then it came to things like you're talking about the political scenario in Maharashtra and center, and then you're talking about someone, Pramod Mahajan, trying to topple, saying that, see, Modi is not going to be the PM, that sort of thing, and Modi is not so capable. There are secrets in Modi's this thing. So suddenly, the same thing, what Soros is saying, the anti-Modi stand started coming in. Then they started getting angry with me by saying that, see, because you're a Modi person, you've stopped the diaries. Now, let me tell you for a fact that, see, whenever there's anything to be criticized in the Modi government, I've done it openly. Whether it's Anurag Thakur, whether it's Smita Parekh, as not Smita Parekh,
Smriti Irani,
Smita, yeah, Smriti Irani,
Gogoi,
or yeah,
Gogoi,
Gogoi, yes, or even
Kiran Rijiju,
the justice guy,
Kiran
uh,
Rijiju.
yes, Kiran.
Yeah,
So we've
yeah,
criticized, and I've also got attacks from the BJP cell, IT cell, for these reasons, saying that, see, I have something personal against BJP. I don't have anything personal. What would I have to do with these ministers? I'm just a person reporting news and trying to interview people who are important for you. So, for a fact, Saffron, just because I don't toe either the BJP line or the opposition line, people get frustrated. They want you to stand somewhere. Okay.
exactly. You cannot
Yeah.
be you cannot be a moderate. You cannot
Yeah.
be an
Yeah.
independent thinker. You have to be either on the left or on the right.
Yeah.
Either you toe my line or you fall by the wayside. There,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
are not allowed to have an independent view anymore. You are not allowed to call right and right,
Yeah.
right is
Yeah.
right, or wrong is wrong.
Even I'll
regardless.
tell you very frankly. In fact, I'll tell you, I haven't spoken about this much, but I'll also tell you. See, I was a part of the, VHS group, Virat Hindustan Sangha, of Dr. Swami. I was a vice president in Bangalore. It was only when I realized that, in P Gurus, when they started calling Aditya Thackeray a gentleman, and this was being endorsed by Dr. Swami, that I realized that this is not our stand, in the SSR movement. So then I dissociated. I resigned. I resigned from the post. I said, no, this can't be. I mean, you're fighting for justice for Sushant, and you're saying that Aditya Thackeray is a gentleman and the family, are all gentlemen. That's wrong. But that doesn't mean I'll speak against Dr. Swami because he's an elderly man. He's got his qualities. He's got his, weaknesses as well. So I'm not going to badmouth him. But I
Dr.
know
Swami is very
he took a
difficult to
U-turn.
trust. He's very
Yeah.
difficult to trust because he
Yes.
does a U-turn very quickly. He will
Yeah,
stir
he did
up
a
the
U-turn.
hornet's nest.
Yeah, he and the other lawyer.
Yeah, he will stir up the hornet's
Yeah,
nest, get into the middle of the things, collect evidence from people, and then I feel is that like he makes a deal with that same
yes,
perpetrators and
yes,
then provides the evidences and then moves out and then
yeah.
supports
In
them.
fact, there was a photograph recently in the Israeli consulate with Dr. Swami and with Aditya Thackeray. So, see, I'm telling you, this is my stand. I resigned. I said, no, I can't be a part of an association, where the person I respect is standing with a person who may be involved in the SSR case, you know. So then when the truth comes out and these names come out, you know, I'll be ashamed of myself.
Exactly. So that is why that it is all the more reason to call right, like call out when people have done a right thing. You praise them for what they have done, and when they have erred, you call that out or rather question them. And that is the biggest problem, that SSRians, justice seekers, are not questioning.
Yeah.
They never questioned. Apart from some of my supporters who I'm thankful to them that whenever I made whenever I whenever I tweeted to Nilotpal about please clarify your position on what is your association with this Pancholi family. You know, they come to your kid's birthday. Maybe you shared a friendship with them earlier. It's okay that you can say that I'm not related to them anymore. I'm not associated with them anymore. At least say that. Come out in the open. At least say why, after 3 years of Jia Khan's death, why was Aditya Pancholi your friend who was promoting you? Did you not know that he was an alleged suspect? What happened? Right? So I mean, yeah, I mean, like these kind of questions need to be asked, tough questions. And it is okay if you made mistake, say sorry. Don't have like a, we know that you may not be. I hope he wasn't involved in that case, but you can say sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's only human to err. Like, I was associated with the wrong people. I would seek apology from all the justice seekers for the actions that I have done. I would seek apology from the justice seekers for having these Bollywood people and Bollywood cabal promote me. I would seek apology from the justice seekers for having these nashedis like Ajaz Khan promoting me. There are videos. I have all the video evidences. It has been submitted to the authorities. But then again, like, what happens, ma'am? Like, nothing happens. Like, a big soul like SSR, उसको अपने प्राणों की आहुति देनी पड़ी. But कुछ हुआ नहीं ना. अभी it's
Mm.
like over 2 years, right? We still have a long way to go. And what has happened? Literally nothing. The people that we trusted, right? People that I trusted, I got backstabbed by them, for fake narratives or for whatever, right? Initially, there used to be a time where people used to literally set alarms to wake up and see if there would be any new news in this
Mm.
SSR case, any video, any update from the agencies, or even the, so to speak, front runners at that time. but it has all like died down, and much of it also, like, I won't let BJP off the hook as well. They
Yeah.
have also, like, played it to their advantage somewhere, and they should do more. They should do more. And now, if they want to go, now is the time. They can go full throttle, full throttle. They shouldn't be waiting. What about chasing dream? I think I already answered about chasing
Yeah.
dream.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with Sikkim Tiger. Do not donate a single cent or paisa to anyone. To anyone. Nobody. You do your charity where you seem fit. But you can't, like,
Do you
donate.
think? Do you think? See this. All this about Penguin being involved in, as being a customer, not a, not a part of the sale, in child trafficking, because he was supposed to be in countries where child prostitution is highest.
Could be. You have to understand one thing, ma'am.
There
The
were
big,
photographs of him in those countries.
the biggest the biggest asset they had was that they controlled the dockyards
Mm,
of Mumbai.
mm.
So you can see that how easy it is for them to funnel
Exactly.
this
Exactly.
trafficking
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
the sea route. I'm
Yeah.
sure they had
Yeah.
people in the, like, moles in the agencies, in the defense forces, to make sure that this network, which they were, like, really part of, which was operated from Karachi and
Mm,
Dubai and
mm,
wherever, you know, this was, like, had a streamlined, interconnected network of work streams, a very
mm,
complex business problem for our Indian government to resolve.
mm,
So this had been going on since a long time.
mm,
Who are the people in Congress party who are, like, trying to be the leader of the
mm.
country? Who are these people? Sonia Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi.
See, in fact, what you said is so true because it was an expert who had come in. He was in the army. He was in the government,
Mhm.
and he was in the raw. And he said that see in Maharashtra, in all these coastal areas, that's where trafficking takes place. Like people are brought in and people are either exported or imported in these, as you said, in a very clandestine manner.
See, there is a very it's a hierarchical structure. There is no saying. The hub, I would say, is through the orphanages. Okay,
Mm.
they you would have a compromised officer working in a very simple language. मैं हिंदी में भी समझाऊंगा कि ये
Yeah.
network कैसे काम करता है. Okay,
Mm.
we don't have a lot of time, but I will still try to. Okay, कोई एक अनाथालय पकड़ लो, ठीक है,
Mm.
where entry of every kid is recorded, right? You
Mm.
might have the person who enters their name, if he is compromised, और 100 में से 10 बच्चों को का नाम नहीं है. Those 10 kids are then first chosen, that these are identified, that these are the 10 kids, we are going to use them and sell them, send them to the Gulf or wherever they are supposed to be, sent. These 10 kids will be sold at a local level, at a global level. At the local level, it could be some maniac, some pedophile, a powerful person, for all you know, जिसके घर में वो नौकर बन के
Mm. Mm.
बच्चे काम करेंगे, and they will
Mm.
get exploited. At a global level, these will be sent to uh, the international pedophiles, so to
Mm.
speak, right?
Mm.
So these kind of things do happen, and not only in India, in other countries also. What do
Yeah.
you think about this adrenochrome stuff? You
Yeah.
go on YouTube and search Sandra Bullock
Mm.
adrenochrome. She herself admitted that
Mm.
her facial skin and, like, all that glow she has, the youngness she has at this age, it has a lot to do with
Which
some
which lady? Which lady is?
Sandra Bullock. She's a famous
Ah, yes,
actress.
Sandra. Yeah, Sandra Bullock. Yeah.
Yeah. So she came on Ellen DeGeneres show where she was
mm,
asked that, hey, what is the secret to your beauty? And she said that apparently there is this liquid which
mm,
comes from a guy, a boy in
mm,
Africa, like
mm,
and adrenochrome is kind of it's a hormone which releases when you put kids under extreme state of fear and stress. Look at the monstrosity. Look at the मेरे पास शब्द नहीं है एक इंसान किस हद तक घटिया रह सकता है ये
mm,
काम करने के लिए मेरे पास
mm,
लिटरली शब्द नहीं है now more
mm,
so after being a father you
mm,
know and that was one of the reasons why I jumped into this campaign
mm,
because I
mm.
imagined my kid in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
I could kill and die for my family.
Mm,
We all can do that.
mm,
When I see families like that of Disha Salian, like especially Disha Salian,
mm,
you know, who are trying to hush up that matter.
mm.
Oh God, I have no words. My blood boils. But kya kare? We are not here in this world to fix it. We are here to awaken it, and that's what we are trying to do.
Yeah, exactly, Bhiravam. And what when you counter them, they just don't want to accept that what they're doing is wrong. I've just left SSR Justice to God. Both Mamta and Preeti too are using the movement, and I believe someone also mentioned that they also have NGOs, Saffron. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah, yeah. ये सबका ये मिली भगत है इसलिए you will see these like usual suspects sharing
uh,
screens on some
yeah,
particular YouTube channel or being promoted on spaces
mm, mm,
and things like that,
yeah,
so
yeah,
that is why they don't discuss about their personal activities. They will discuss
yeah,
about like on a very generic stage. They will paint a rosy picture of what they have done, where they have donated. They won't
mm,
tell you much about how they have earned it, right?
mm,
There has to be skin in the game for them to be able to be doing these things, right? There has to
yeah,
be some shadiness involved,
mm,
otherwise who would do that?
yeah. In fact, friends, viewers, there's a new movie in which I don't know the name of the hero. He came in the piano. You remember Saffron, the piano movie, which was during the Nazis time. You know, a very famous movie, which
Pianist,
won. Uh,
pianist, the
yeah,
pianist.
pianist. Yes, yes, pianist. Yes.
Yeah.
So that hero has produced a movie recently. I just saw the latest one. It's totally about this, brilliantly taken. If you can watch it, I mean, you have to be patient because initially the movie is a bit slow, but a brilliant movie. I wish all of you could watch it. You know, when you get the time.
Well,
And thank you, Saffron. So
you go, you got it, you got that advice. So yeah, all our viewers do watch that movie
yeah,
recommended by Meena Das ji, and it's been a great pleasure interacting with you all. I always look forward to our interactions, and hopefully, like next time we will come up again with another fruitful discussion on your channel.
yeah. And also, in case Sikkim Tiger, you want to say something, you can always email us. But please come with facts. Do not give us, made up stories which we are not interested in. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Saffron.
Until next time, Jai
And
Hind.
good night. See you.